Alright, everybody, welcome to what I like to call the Bosco Hates segments. Now, I want to say this is more criticism than anything, and anything that's said that you guys think I'm being too mean about, well, I'm not. I'm just trying to give my own personal thoughts and opinions on what I think can be done better, because one of the things that I want to talk about here is one weapon in particular, which definitely needs to be done better. Hello everybody, my name is Bosco and 8. Now you're probably wondering, Bosco, what are you recording now? Well, I want to talk about what in my opinion is the most useless item in Heroes Online 2. And that is going to be the Feather Blade. I have a lot of opinions with this weapon, a lot of them. And some are good, some are bad. Now, I will go more in depth with this, but in all honesty, let's just get the big thing out of the way. Why, in God's good name, is this thing strength? So what I basically want to say is this. The problem with me and the Feather Blade is that it just does not feel like it's useful at all. In any sense. With the main issue being, if I'm going to be using it, I'd rather just be using the Gamma Gauntlet, since A, it is a quirk-based weapon, the Gamma Gauntlets anyway, which give me a 15% buff to my quirk, since Wing Justice is a quirk-based quirk, meaning it upgrades your quirk stat, which the Feather Blade doesn't do. Related. It's literally a paradoxical item if you think about it. It's the fact that this item is, not only does it not work if you don't have the quirk Wing Justice, it also only gives you a boost in strength, which you may think, oh, that's pretty good, that's pretty good. It's not really, it's not. It is useless regardless if you have the quirk or not, because of one thing. What I mean by it's a paradox item is the fact that Wing Justice, which you need to even use this item, is based on your quirk stat, meaning you have to upgrade your quirk stat to make that quirk usable. The weapon, though, is based on your strength. And considering the fact the Gamma Gauntlets, which give you a 15% buff in your quirk, is much more useful than a 10% buff in strength. So, at the end of the day, it makes no sense. The quirk is quirk-based, meaning you will have to upgrade your quirk stat, meaning, why in God's name would you ever run this weapon when the Gamma Gauntlets, which I want to just say, give a 15% buff in quirk, do this much better? Yeah, like you could say, but do they give any cool, like, the fact that this blade itself does not give you a unique move is what really makes me angry, because in fact that it's just a normal blade just doesn't make any sense. Unique move? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It literally is just cool looking for the sake of being cool. It is probably one of the most useless items in the game. I don't know what they were cooking. It literally just does. It's useless. Unless you're running Giant, with which I know for a fact they're now, from what I know of anyway, they're thinking of moving a lot of stuff from said strength stat to over to the quirk stat, meaning like obviously the strength builds are going to be probably obsolete soon, but other than that, the Feather Blade literally just serves zero purpose. Unless it was obviously put into the quirk stat, it would still not be useful because of one thing. It is a quirk-based quirk, that is the quirk, and this weapon upgrades strength only by 10%, while the Gamma Gauntlets upgraded by 15%. You could make a hybrid sword build, but why would you when the Gamma Gauntlets are more viable? I don't know what was cooking. It is literally a useless weapon. It still looks cool. A lot of people say that I'm getting heated over this, but it really is. It is literally just serves zero purpose other than to just look cool. If you don't have the quirk, it gives you a zero. It's supposed to give you a 0% buff in strength, meaning it's just a cosmetic at that point. You need specifically the quirk, and you need and you need this. It would have been great if this gave you like a custom move or something. That would have made this more viable, or at least people wanting to keep it. Other than that, it just serves zero purpose whatsoever. It doesn't do anything. It's just a normal sword, and even then, they're much better swords in my opinion. There's the stained sword, which I think most people use, and again, unless you're running giant, that you could use this or tail. Problem is though, again, you need the quirk itself for that. So unless you're going for a giant winged justice, yeah, that would probably work, because usually giants are the only ones that would use swords. Everyone else maybe uses a sword, but I've only ever seen people just use the Gamma Gauntlets, because at that point, why wouldn't you? It's literally useless. I think a lot of people have agreed that the fact that Winged Justice itself is a quirk-based quirk and not strength is definitely a big problem. But the problem is also that if you're making a custom weapon for a custom quirk, you need that quirk to have some form of stats that actually are equivalent to how the rarity of the quirk. For instance, it's a legendary item. This is a legendary quirk. The problem is this, though. It gives such horrible stat buffs that it basically nobody wants to use it. The only thing you would use it for is to just look cool. Other than that, it serves zero purpose. Again, 10% strength. Then there's going to be the Gamma Gauntlets, which gives you a 15%. I'm taking the 15% over the 10%. Now, unless you're thinking of combo starting, yeah, that'd be pretty great. But other than that, it's just is so bad. I mean, the only other thing I could probably see is that maybe it gives you a bit more reach, but other than that, it's pretty useless in everything that it does. But that's all I had to really say for this segment. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys have enjoyed me ranting about this. But yeah, I will see you all later. Bye!